Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is JoJo Bennington, and this is the Rock Your Life weekly team get together. Get to see all of your bright, smiling faces. And we're coming to the end of our month at the beach and heading home in a couple of days, back to reality. And it's been fun to work from here. I got to do this more often. So just to get things started off, I would love to take one shout out or gratitude. I know there's some really great things going on. So somebody give us a gratitude or a shout out or a celebration. Oh, I knew it was going to be you.
Well, because this week has been absolutely off the chain amazing. I've been having amazing conversations. I'm getting engagement on my Facebook posts. Amanda, I don't know if you got much engagement on the Alicia, I think, but I people coming out of the woodwork, and so it's finally happening. And I just had an enrollment tonight, and so I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm marking down my 15 so that when I go to NYKO, I have my 15, and I'm just stupid excited.
So, that's awesome. That's good excitement. I've been watching what's going on with your posts, and I'm like, yes, good engagement. That's great. And that's a good share. I like to start with that one. So before we really roll in, so a couple of months ago, I don't even know when it was now, June, Carrie and I went to Dallas for the eWomen conference. And in the morning, after it was all over, I was sitting downstairs having breakfast with one of the girls that I know from Las Vegas. And she got up and left. And as she left, more people came to sit down. And I just had an amazing morning of meeting all of these brand new people. Well, our special guest tonight was one of those people. And we had a great conversation. We've been in contact multiple times over the last couple of months. And just really learning more about what she does. She's learning more about what we do. And, she's just a bright, shining light. You can see her beautiful face, but she really, so when you understand how important it is to follow up, and we all know that the fortune's in the follow-up, that we can meet people all day long, but if we don't have good follow-up skills, then a lot of times we don't have a business. So she works closely with entrepreneurs and network marketers like us who really don't have an effective follow-up system. And I know that a lot of times we're always talking about who has a great system. And so when somebody comes along that I think has a great system, I want you guys to be aware of that. So, a lot of times we struggle to really have that consistent sales thing. And I believe that the follow-up is a part of that. We don't want to sound salesy. We don't want to be all those things that we put a negative connotation to. But so Debbie's really a master at that. And she was a successful investment banker for over 20 years and with Wall Street firms and things like that. So she's got these great organizational skills, which I have zero of. And she's got a great ability to connect with people, which is how we ended up together. So, just have had so much fun with her learning over the last couple of months. And when somebody can tell me that their follow-up system has helped generate over $25 billion in sales, my ears prick up and I listen because, that's serious. She's also got a book that's coming out. So that's pretty exciting. So everybody please meet Miss Debbie Hoffman.
Oh, thank you so much. So nice to meet all of you. And congratulations, Marcy. I love your excitement and passion and celebration. And JoJo, I love what you do with the celebration because that is so key. Because the more we celebrate, the more we bring into our lives to celebrate. So it's something I do with every coaching call with my clients that before they ask a question or share anything, it's what do you have to celebrate? So yay, I knew we were kindred spirits. I just knew it. So
we usually do that 5 or 6 times, but tonight because you're here, we're gonna take one and it was just a really great one. So we'll just be happy with that one and go forward. And that's Anna, by the way. She shares her little screen space with Marcy. So
sorry.
that's okay.
Anna.
But it's hard to know that. So So we know who we're talking about. It's all
Okay. Oh, split scrub. Now your name is different. So it says Anna now. I don't know how that just happened, but anyway.
updated. So I'm just going to, turn it over to you and let you share. And I hope that, I know that we did the little quiz. Did anybody go on and take the quiz? I know I did. And then also there was a little handout to print up. And if you don't have it, you can go on real quick and look at it. I posted it on the team page. If not, you can have it as a follow-up later. But I'm just going to hand it over to you and let you run and do your thing. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much. And the handout, if you can print it up, there's some fill in the blanks, so you can actually use it to take notes if it works for you. If not, don't worry about it. You can use a notepad, but print it up later because there's some other information in there. So let me get the, once I put the screen up, I won't be able to see all of you as well, but I just want to encourage you all to raise your hand if I ask a question. I'll be asking some questions. I'd love you to participate, and I'll opening up the lines to answer some questions here and there. So are you guys all going to play with me? Are you guys okay to play full out and participate? Because it's more challenging when it's remote like this. Like, I love being in a room with people when I can ask questions and they can comment. So this is like the next best thing to that. So just, participate, know that I love you to contribute, okay?
And everybody give her a thumbs up if you're agreeing to participate. Awesome. I don't see everyone's thumb up right now. All right. Okay. And we actually have Mona with us who's in Japan right now and expecting a typhoon. So I will tell you that no one has any excuse to not be on this call right now. Right?
Oh my God, that's crazy. Wow. Well, be safe, be safe, be safe. All right, I'm going to share the screen, and then I have to get it to slideshow. Why isn't it doing that? Just give me 1 second. Okay, something is weird. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, can you all see that? Yes? Jojo? Okay, good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I have a couple of questions for all of you. So who here has collected like a stack of business cards? Like maybe you've got them in baggies or boxes or drawers. Anybody? Unfortunately, I can't see all of you. Oh, I'm going to put you over the top. Let's see how I can do this. I can only see like 4 or 5 of you, but I'm just going to assume that you're participating. Okay. All right, cool. And who'd like to turn that pile of business cards into a pile of cash? Anybody want to do that? Yeah. Okay, let me just see why this isn't. There we go. Oh. So welcome to Convert More Prospects into Clients Without Being a Salesy. So first, I really want to acknowledge Jojo for your commitment to your people, like having their dreams come true, and for your understanding, like that it's the follow-up that's going to have their businesses fulfill their dreams. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. You're an amazing leader, and your team is so lucky to have you. I've seen lots of leaders in network marketing from the 20 years, I guess it's been now that I've been in network marketing, and you right away, like just, I could tell like you were a firecracker and an amazing leader. So your team is so, so, so lucky. And I want to acknowledge all of you for the courage it takes to not only dream, but to follow up on your dreams and to be feisty enough to persevere in your business. Because not everyone is willing to do what it takes to build a network marketing business and follow up and have their dreams come true. So I really want to acknowledge all of you as well. So Jojo mentioned the quiz. Some of you have taken it. Thank you. And for those of you who haven't, when you can, go to powerupbizquiz.com, and it's 5 minutes, and it will give you a really great assessment of where your strengths are with follow-up, so you know what you're doing great at, and it will show you what areas might need some like attention and tender loving care. Okay, so if you haven't taken it yet, no worries, you can take it later. Okay, so for those of you who did take it, like what did you discover about yourself? This is kind of a rhetorical question right now. But, did you find out, wow, I don't have a CRM. I haven't even been thinking about that. Or maybe I haven't been asking for referrals. Or maybe there's some limiting beliefs holding me back. So if you haven't taken it, please do. And we can be in touch later as I go through all of I've been through a few of them, but with getting ready for tonight, I couldn't go through all of them. So thank you for taking it. So can I share with you why I am so passionate about follow-up? Yes, I see a nod from Jojo with thumbs up. Okay, thank you, thank you. So I'm really grateful and fortunate to share that I'm living like a dream life right now. I just celebrated my 33rd anniversary with my husband, Norm. And when you hear my story, you will realize that it is such a miracle that we're still together. And we just went on this big birthday trip, and I'm not going to share how big, but it was big. And we walked the Camino in Spain, and it was my dream to do this. And we went there with some friends we've known for 20 years, really dear friends. And then our son, Adam, met us in Paris. He flew in from Brooklyn, and we spent a week with him. So it was just an amazing experience. But just 5 years ago, my life was more of a nightmare than a dream. I'll never forget that moment when I came home we had a 5,000 square foot home on an 1.5 acres of property, and there was this notice on our gate that our home had gone into foreclosure. And we had 48 hours to get out, like 5,000 square foot home, 48 hours. My husband had been an amazing designer and builder, and he had been building successfully for like 20 years. And we had taken all of our money and invested it in this home to remodel. But with the real estate market crash in the San Francisco Bay Area, it was not selling. And to be honest with you, I knew it was coming, but I had been in total denial about it. And seeing that notice on the gate hit me like a fist in the stomach. And it threw me into a deep, deep depression. And we struggled financially, and that foundation that we had so solidly built started to crumble and just fall apart. And things got so bad for us that we were forced to file bankruptcy. And I was embarrassed and humiliated. Like back then, people weren't talking about it. And so I felt really alone, and I was keeping this big secret. Now, since the 80s, I had been working on Wall Street. I had a 20-year career there making a 6-figure income, and I retired early to be with my family, and I wanted to make more of a difference as an entrepreneur. And I was with a health and wellness company like you guys are. And I wanted to also, I wanted to make more of a difference. Like Wall Street was all about the money, but I wanted to do something more as an entrepreneur where I could make a difference. And so I left and built the fastest growing team in the history of this prominent network marketing company. And then here I was in foreclosure. It's like, what the heck happened, right? It was the biggest nightmare. And during that time, my son graduated from college, and we had promised to take him to Italy for a graduation present. And I've been looking forward to this for 4 years. And because of what was going on with us, we couldn't do it. So I was in a very, very, very deep hole and didn't know what to do to get out of it. And what saved me was finding a mentor. I'll never forget that moment when I said yes to myself and invested in myself, because I knew this woman could help me rebuild my business and my life. And she helped me, pull me out of that dark hole and help me get through that really difficult time. And I'm so grateful for the support that I received from her. And during that time, when I was ready to go back to work, ready to stop being a victim, and I was a victim for longer than I want to admit, to tell you the truth. So I went to this networking event. Actually, it was a conference where I met JoJo, and I had a table for these products. And this woman came over and was interested in what I had to offer, but wasn't ready to make a decision. So she asked me to follow up with her, which I did for 14 months. Anybody here ever follow up with somebody for 14 months? Like, okay, JoJo, a few of you, oh my God, it's not easy, right? Like, it is not easy to do. But she finally became a client, like, hallelujah. And one day she said, Debbie, you need to teach me your follow-up system. You're amazing at it. I suck at it. Nobody follows up with me the way you do. You've got to do something with this. And to tell you the truth, I had no idea what she was talking about. Like, it was just something that I did naturally, but she made me realize that I had this unique gift. And like, don't we all have something special, something unique that we just like do naturally? We just take it for granted, right? Like we all have that special sauce, that thing that's so unique about us. And sometimes it takes somebody outside of us to help us to see that. And I'm so grateful to her for pointing this out to me, because after some kicking and screaming, I launched this business, and it's been like the best thing I've ever done for myself and for so many people. So this is how my business got started. I wasn't looking for it. And now I've grown my business to replace my Wall Street income. And, you know, follow-up has made my dreams come true. That trip to Italy, after, you know, let's say 16 months of tapping back into my follow-up system, my husband, son, and I, we were in Italy eating gelato, like in Florence. Like it was the most amazing experience of my life. And it wasn't so much, I mean, it was a great trip being there, but what it meant to me and what I accomplished was the biggest thing. And so the thing is that when you have a follow-up system in place, like no matter what's going on in your life, you can tap back into it and rebuild. It happened for me, and it's happened for so many of my clients. And my real inspiration for powering up people's follow-up is that I don't want you to ever have to make a choice between, you know, money and happiness. Because I almost went back to a job. I came that close to accepting a job, and thank God the universe said no. But at the time, it didn't feel like a blessing. I was devastated. But now looking back, it was like the absolute perfect thing. So I'm a stand, you know, for people holding on to their dreams and never giving up. And in this world that we live in right now, with all the anger and hatred and all the crap that's going on in the world, like for me to be able to make a difference one person at a time, to create relationships and connections with people and help them to do that as they're following up, which you're going to hear about in a few minutes, to me, like that's, you know, making, you know, a difference one person at a time, to just bring more joy and connection and love to the world. So I'm going to give you everything I got about follow-up in the next, you know, half hour, whatever we have left together. And for those of you who know you're going to want more and you need more support, don't worry. I'm going to share with you a wonderful opportunity for you to get some support and power up your follow-up. So my core message, like what I want you guys to leave with more than anything today, is that my dreams come true when I follow up. And it's not a trite thing. Like, you guys have a business, you have a company that you're passionate about and products that you believe in, but underneath it, there's a dream. There may be a few, you know, several dreams. And when you follow up, your dreams will come true. So I know you're all muted, but I'd love you just to all say it with me, just to get it in your body. So just, my dreams come true when I follow up. Okay? My dreams come true when I follow up. So I know for me, it feels good when I share that. I hope you do as well, that you feel good. So imagine it's like a year from now and you've been following up. Your dreams are coming true. Like, where are you? What are you doing? Like, are you traveling? Are you buying a home or a second home? Are you paying down debt? What are you doing? I'd love a couple of you to unmute and just share. Like, your dreams have come true. What is that for you? What do you guys dream about?
I'm living in Italy.
Living in Italy. You're my kind of girl. Yes.
That's where I'm from. So my dream is to have a home on the Amalfi Coast, right there in Italy. So
awesome, awesome. That's beautiful. Love it, love it. Thank you for sharing.
My dream's to be there with you.
Yeah. To have an isogenics retreat in Italy. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Fabulous. Anybody else?
Oh, that will happen. Absolutely.
Anybody else want to share? What's your dream? What would you be doing? How would you be feeling? Like, that's even more important. How would you be feeling having these dreams come true? Anybody else want to share? Okay. Oh, great.
I think for me, it would be, I would love to quit my job and be home more for my girls and my family. And hopefully be looking for our first home.
Oh, lovely. That's beautiful. And it's Harmony? that how you pronounce your name?
Harmony.
Oh, Harmony. Sorry, Harmony. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. So if you didn't share, I'd love you to write down later, what's your dream? Because it's so important to be connected to those dreams. Because when stuff comes up in your business and you go, oh, do I have to follow up? You'll just tap back into that dream, that why, and it will keep you going. So let's come back to the present. So what's stopping you from making your dreams come true? Where are you struggling with your follow-up? And I'd love, again, a couple people just to share. And this is a safe container, and what is shared here stays here. And there's no judgment or nothing's good or bad. It's just what are you struggling with your follow-up? I'd love a couple of you to share.
Being organized with it. So you talk about following up with somebody and it took you 14 months. Oftentimes I will go back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to follow up with so-and-so. Where the hell did I put their name?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes, that's very, very, very common. Is like there's pieces of paper all over and notepads, right? And sticky notes, right? Okay, well, you're going to love what you're going to hear tonight, because I'm going to help you with that big time. So stay tuned. Anyone else want to share your biggest challenge? Like what comes up with you, for you when you're following up?
I think for me personally, it's the fear of coming off, too salesy. Like a lot of these people are friends or people that I've known for years. And I know for me personally, being approached by people who are salespeople, I don't want to be that person, especially to the people I know and my friends and stuff like that. And so I think that's my fear that's holding me back, is not so much convincing them, but, talking to them in a way that they're comfortable with, that I'm comfortable with. So it's like we're having a conversation versus buy this and this is why,
Thank you so much for sharing, Harmony. That, that's a very vulnerable share, and I really appreciate that. And I we'll see how time goes and if people are willing to stay on, because at the end I can share, and I'll try to weave it in to my talk tonight about the salesy pushy thing, because that comes up a lot for people. And I have a solution for you, a mindset shift that will change everything for you around that. So I'm so glad you brought that up, and I will weave it in tonight. I have four tips, and I always choose 3 because of time. And JoJo was so gracious to give me more time. JoJo, what time do we have till, so that I can keep track and see if I can weave some of that in?
Well, we typically go to 6:15, but I added on 15 minutes. So we have till 6:30. So
okay, great.
35 minutes.
35 minutes. Okay. I'll share a little bit about it, just because Harmony was so vulnerable to share that, and I want to make sure that I deal with that. Okay. So some of you, again, here we go, might be hesitating to follow up because you're concerned about being salesy or pushy. For some people, it might be that organization that you mentioned, Anna. And then some people are trudging from networking event to event, and they're not getting the results to justify the effort, and it feels like a waste of time. So I'm going to share some secrets right now to help make your dreams come true. So here we go. So if you have the handout on the back page, I have 3 lines for 1, 2, and 3 if you want to keep track. If not, again, just write down on a piece of paper. So the first thing I want to share is about networking. And you don't want to go to a networking event to sell. And most people go to networking events with the mindset of finding customers, in your case, finding customers, finding team members, and selling your stuff. And what ends up happening is that people get very defensive. And so, of course, we all want more clients and customers and team members, but there's a better way to do that. So if you come from a mindset of service and seeing how you can help people, it's going to change the entire dynamic of the whole thing. So I'm going to share this secret in a minute. Let me just lead up to that. So imagine you go to a networking event, and most people feel very defensive because they're being sold to a lot. Just like Harmony was saying, I don't want to be salesy. And so what happens is their guard goes up and they shut down. And then when somebody else comes up to them, they're just not receptive. But if you come to a networking event to see how you can help people and support people and make a difference for them, And don't even talk about what you do until later. Like, ask them what they do first, and then talk about yourself later. And then ask them some questions. And I'm going to share this powerful question with you right now. Their heart will open. The relationship, you'll become more connected. They're going to trust you so much more. And they're going to do whatever they can to help you in return. So I have lots of questions that I coach my clients to ask, but I'm going to share my favorite one with you right now. And that is, what inspired you to start your business? So what inspired you to start your business? So if you want to have an inspiring conversation, ask an inspiring question, okay? And what's going to happen is they're going to probably share a story about something that happened in their lives that was very life-changing, that was very profound. It could have been a struggle, a tragedy, just something. And they started doing their business because they wanted to help other people with that. You're going to learn so much about them in that moment that, again, you're going to create that instant connection and rapport. And so when you come from a place of service, they're going to relax, a deeper connection will be created, and the whole relationship will take off in a whole different direction. So it's going to build trust. They're going to want to help you in return. That's just how it works. So be curious and ask powerful questions. So be prepared in advance to ask questions that are going to elicit, information that can help you figure out if they're a potential customer or team member, or maybe a referral source. Okay? So this might sound crazy, but the longer you put off talking about yourself and the less you talk about what you do, the more clients and customers, team members, and referrals you're going to actually get. So what I recommend you do is, before you go to a networking event, practice in advance what you're going to say. And I'm really big on how you're being. So only 7% of the impact you make on people is the words that you use. The other 93% is your body language and your tone of voice. So be excited, be passionate, approach people with a smile, and always ask them about them first. And look for that commonality so you can build that connection. And then another mistake I see people make when they're asked, so what do you do? Is they go on and on and on and on and on. And especially what I've noticed with people in network marketing is they mention their product, the name of their company, the name of their product, and the process. And what I recommend you do is really prepare in a very short way, like 2 sentences, about the problem you solve and the results the solution that you provide. So make it benefit oriented. Like, what's the experience people have working with you? What's the experience they have taking your products? What results do they have? And focus on that, because people really don't care about the name of your company until later. What they care about is what's it going to do for me, right? So I hear this all the time. And even people who are posting in my Facebook group on Tuesday, you can promote your business, a product or service, and people are just not getting into the benefits or the results. And that's really, really, really key. So I devote an entire class in my Power Up Your Sales program to preparation, because that's how important it is. And being prepared before you go to a meeting, before you do a presentation, whether it's a one-on-one presentation or a group presentation, and including, how to answer this question, what do you do? And if you guys go to networking events where you have 30 seconds to share in front of the room, how do you share that in a way that gets people to lean in and want to know more? So I have a client, and she hated networking. She didn't want to go. People were just, throwing up on her with all of their stuff, and she felt pressure to sell and get clients. She's a professional organizer. And we talked about her mindset about networking, totally switched it to not worrying about selling and getting clients, but going there to build relationship and connection. And then we worked on what she was going to say when people asked what she did. And people came up to her after she shared in front of the room and said, "We have never heard such a compelling infomercial. We want to know more about you." And she ended up doing these coffee dates with people and brought in like 8 new clients and $20,000 in the first 6 weeks of working together, because her confidence went up. She had a plan, she had a system, she was organized, and she went to serve. Now she's dating these different networking groups to find the best ones. Whereas before, she said to me, "I never would have done this if it wasn't for you." So that's the power of having you know, a mindset shift and support around your networking and your follow-up. Okay, so for time, I'm just going to move on here. The second thing I want to talk about is having an organized system. So what I'm finding is, and somebody already mentioned that about not having a system. And so what's happening, what I'm finding is that there's a lot of people who are dropping balls. There are lots of loose ends, and there's potential customers and team members slipping through the cracks. And so the first step is to get technology in place, and it's called a CRM, Customer Relationship Management System. And this is the technology of your follow-up blueprint. So just the name alone, Customer Relationship Management, it tells you how amazing it is, because it's all about managing your relationships, because I'm all about building relationships and connections, deep, deep connections. So there's lots of CRMs out there. You can go to my website and see some of them that I vetted. It's not one size fits all. So when people ask me this question, I can't answer it off the cuff. I have to ask lots of questions to find out more. So go there. You can get a free trial and see if you like it. There's one there that's really, really good for network marketers. You'll see it's called FitFu. So when you go on there, you'll see it's specifically for network marketers, and its fortune is in the follow-up. And I have a special link that if you decide to use that link, the gal that owns the company will know that I've referred you, and she's really been taking very good care of my clients and my referrals. So the first thing you want to do is get a CRM, get one that's simple and easy to use. They're not scary. They're easy to use. If you get an easy to use system, there are some really complicated ones, but you guys just need something very simple. And what I recommend is after you come back from a networking event, follow up within 24 to 48 hours with people who you met there while everything's still top of mind for you. Because the longer you wait, the more their interest is going to wane. Their highest interest level is right when you talk to them. And then the longer you wait, it just keeps dropping. Now, I'm an old-fashioned girl, and people ask me all the time, how should I follow up first? And I recommend you call first, and then prepare a voicemail message, create a script, and then leave a voicemail message afterwards. That way you'll give them both ways to follow up. You know, they'll get to choose which way they want to follow up based on what's convenient for them. And then that will give you a heads up on what their preferred method of communication is. So always prepare the message that you're going to leave, and then send a backup email saying the same thing, okay? And then if they respond by text, then you know that that's a great way to communicate with them, okay? All right, so the CRM enables you to track your progress of each prospect, and you won't have these slips of paper and notepads and sticky notes anymore. Everything will be in the system. So when you think of someone, you call them, you set a reminder for the next follow-up, and it either sends you a pop-up reminder or an email or a text, depending on the system you get, and no one will ever slip through the cracks. So it's just the fabulous way to stay organized. So what I'm hearing from people who don't use it is what we just heard earlier, that you lose track of people. You can't find their information. And what my clients are saying after we've worked together in the Power Up Your Sales program and they get the CRM, they're telling me that their life is so much easier. And they're staying in touch with prospects longer. They're not giving up so soon. And they're getting more clients. Their businesses are growing. And the thing that I love about follow-up, it's all about building relationships. And when you have a follow-up system in place that organizes everything for you, you'll be more continually in touch, more consistently in touch with your prospects, and a deeper relationship will be created. And so I work really closely with my clients to get the technology that they need in place to stay connected and organized. And then there's also a necessity to have the step-by-step system so you know what to do and what to say at every step of the process. And I want to deal with what Harmony said now. I'm going to kind of slip this salesy, pushy thing in. I want to share with you that there is a way to follow up with people that feels connected and compelling instead of salesy and repelling. So what if when you followed up with people, you were letting them know you were showing up in service to them and that you really cared about them? Like, that would create a really different experience of following up, wouldn't it? Right? It's very different. So if you let go of your agenda, set an intention. I'm very big on setting intention, but let go of your agenda and show up to serve people and ask questions and get curious and always be asking for permission, and you will never feel salesy or pushy again. And I go into this in a lot of detail in my Power Up Your Sales program, but because of time, I want to respect everyone taking an additional 15 minutes tonight, so I'm so grateful. And so we'll move on. But one of my clients is with a financial services network marketing company. She didn't have a CRM in place. People were slipping through the cracks. She got her system. She started following up very consistently. She started posting on our Facebook group that she followed up, made appointments for coffee, met with these people, and got all these new clients. And she had her best month in 6 years after taking this program. And she's 83 years old. And I'm not kidding. I just saw her yesterday. She invited me to her networking group to speak. This woman is so darn feisty. So if she can do it, you can do it. She's just on track now, and it's making such a difference. Okay, so now I'm going to share my third secret. And it's actually the #1 leak that I see in people's follow-up system. And it's also the best source for filling your pipeline with continuing sales. So maybe you can write down a guess of what that might be. So what do you think is the best way to have a steady stream of clients coming to you already excited about what you do? It's referrals. And referrals are so powerful because they come from a credible third party, a satisfied customer who's already experienced the benefits of doing business with you. And people say they know all about referrals when they start working with me, but they start to realize that there's a way to ask for referrals that works and a way to ask for referrals that doesn't work. So a lot of people aren't even asking for referrals at all, which is why they're not getting them. And Mark Zuckerberg said that referrals are the holy grail of marketing, and his business is doing pretty well. So I'm just curious if you could raise your hand, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to see all of them, but raise your hand if you consistently ask all your customers for referrals, like consistently. Jojo shaking her head no. I'm seeing some smiles. No hands are going up. Let me just see. And then some people called in. Okay, doesn't
Not
look like.
Consistently.
What's that?
Not consistently.
Not consistently. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. And this is what I hear all the time. And I just want to share with you that, where's this going? Referrals are the ultimate payoff in building relationships with people. And when you have a happy customer, or even a happy team member who's not actively building, but they love the products, they just, for some reason, life got in the way. When they refer people, when you ask for the referrals and know when to ask and how to ask, because that's key, and they refer people to you, it makes them feel so good that they found a good product or service. In your case, when you're building a team and you're mentoring your team, and when they refer you to somebody else who also gets that same great benefit, it makes them feel so good that they've been able to help somebody. So here are some statistics, and if you have the handout printed out, you can fill in the blanks on the back. 45% of new customers come from the recommendations of others. 45% from referrals. On average, 1 out of 20 people will end up doing business with you, and it varies obviously from business to business, but that's what research shows. But 1 out of 6 referred customers will end up doing business with you. So there's a 300% chance, better chance of having someone become a customer. 300%. So you either talk to 20 people and get 1 customer or team member, or 6, like you choose, right? And the mistake that I see so many people making in network marketing is they spend so much time going out trying to find new customers and new team members that they're sitting on a gold mine, and all you need to do is ask for your customers to refer people to. But you have to be very specific, and I'll be talking about that in a minute. Referred customers are going to continue to do business with you 4 times longer, and they buy 4 times more from you in the first year. And they're 2.5 times more likely to refer you to others, so the process repeats. So the thing is, you need to train your clients on what to listen for and what to say on your behalf when the opportunity arises. So you want to give them language, first of all, of who your ideal clients are. Be very, very specific. So another mistake people make is they say, I'm looking for referrals, or who do you know who you can refer to me? And remember those old Rolodexes where we used to keep track of people's contact info? I'm dating myself, but JoJo's younger, but you might remember them, the Rolodex. So we all have what I call this Rolodex in our head. And when you're really specific about your ideal client and who you're looking for, they're going to go through their brain and go, ding, ding, ding. Oh, I know somebody. So let them know it can be, you know, a single mom over 50 who can't stand her job that wants to work at home with their kids. Like, it could be that specific, right? Or someone who's like, can't sleep through the night and they're looking for a solution, like something super specific, okay? And it's all about when to ask for the referrals as well. So the timing is really, really key. So ultimately, you know, it's a numbers game. Let me just back up for a sec. I just want to make sure I've shared everything I want to share. So it's important to master these follow-up skills so you can train your clients what to say. And the more information you feed them, the easier it's going to be for them to refer people to. Your responsibility is just to make it as easy as possible for them to refer people to you. And in my Power Up Your Sales program, I teach people like what most of your competitors are clueless about, like how to maximize the number of referrals that you receive. It's going to make your life so much easier. And that financial advisor that I mentioned who had her, you know, CRM and best month in 6 years, she, because of the way I trained her how to ask for referrals, she landed her biggest client ever. That's how powerful it is when you know how to ask for referrals. So there's so much more to follow up, and you know, we've barely scratched the surface today. And when I'm speaking to people, I'm finding that so many network marketers and entrepreneurs are struggling with their follow-up, and it's like the missing piece of the puzzle for so many people. And my mission is to help you share your gifts and get your message out in like a big way so that you can make the impact that you're here to make. And so again, the insight we had today is my dreams come true when I follow up. But the problem I'm seeing out there, and again, you can fill in the blanks on the back of your handout, the biggest problem I'm seeing is 48% of entrepreneurs never follow up. Like not even once. That means if you go out networking, almost half the people you meet, you will never hear from. It's crazy, but it's true. I mean, people never call me. Like I hardly ever get a call when I network. It's amazing. So this leads me to the next question. How many contacts do you think it takes before the average prospect will say yes to doing business with you? If anybody has an idea, just unmute real quick. How many contacts does it take before the average person will say yes to doing business with you?
Somebody take a guess.
All right, we have a shy group. It's 5. 5 continuing, well-executed follow-up efforts after that initial contact is made before the average customer will say yes to doing business with you. Some experts say it can be 8 to 15, but 5 minimum. But only 8% of entrepreneurs are making that crucial 5th contact, only 8%, which means 92% of us are stopping short of that 5th call. And those 8%, of course, are doing 80% of the business out there. That's how it works. It's all about the follow-up. And I want all of you guys to be one of those 8%ers and help you make your dreams come true. So just think of these numbers. Like think about the possibilities and the opportunities that are being missed by all the people who you've not been following up with, right? So I really believe that we have a responsibility to follow up with people, because especially with what you guys do, you know, you're changing people's lives with their health. I mean, that is, and financially, right? That is a big, big responsibility. And, you know, JoJo shared with me about a product that you guys have that helps with dementia. I've already referred 2 people to her, right? Like if I didn't refer those people to her, my friends' mothers would still, you know, be going through what they're going through. And I'm hoping they embrace it and start using those products. But when you're not following up, people are still suffering out there. And so we need to follow up. So what's the solution? The solution is to take on the mindset of the 8%. And the difference between the 8% and the 92% is their mindset. And the 8% know that relationships happen when follow-up occurs. Opportunities flow, doors open when follow-up and connection occur. And then once you have the mindset in place, it takes having the step-by-step system that you can implement every day so you know what to do and what to say at every step of the process. When you have both in place, your business will grow more quickly with less effort, and you'll finally, achieve the results that you've been looking for. So remember, the follow-up process is the sales process. When I say follow-up, it's really the entire sales process from before you even leave the house to after somebody's become a customer and beyond, okay? So having a reliable follow-up system and knowing what to do when and knowing what to say and having the right mindset is the magic behind having your dreams come true. And it's what makes the process so much easier. So we dove into some areas today about networking, about getting more organized, and about asking for referrals. And hopefully you're starting to realize that follow-up is a lot more important to your success than you might have imagined. And maybe you're identifying some areas. For those of you who didn't do the quiz, with the quiz, I'm sure you've identified areas where your follow-up, needs some help. And again, you guys have unique gifts, and I'm just really on a mission to help you to get those gifts out and make the big impact you're here to make. And so I want to share with you how you can grow your business significantly, and as I like to call it, power up your sales. And this is the name of my 7-week training program that's actually starting next week, which is amazing timing. And during this program, it's an affordable program that helps you break through these old habits that haven't worked and break through some of those fears and attract more clients, learn how to utilize the CRM, learn how to have your pipeline filled with qualified leads, and learn how to work smarter and make deeper connections and have more fun. So in this program, you're going to learn how to network in a more confident way that's going to attract more customers to you and referral partners like a magnet. And you're going to be able to work less and earn more money because you'll be working more efficiently, more effectively. And then you'll be able to introduce yourself at networking events in a way that gets people to lean in and want to know more. That's what it's all about. And you'll have the ability to stand out from your competition because you're going to be following up in a way that nobody else really is doing out there. And you'll be able to generate more consistent sales and dramatically increase your sales conversion ratio. So in my program, we cover creating the follow foundation first. We talk about the limiting beliefs and how to network. We go into how to create the system and how to follow up after networking and meeting people in greater detail than I went into today. And then how to prepare for every contact that you have. I talked about preparation. And I talk about the 8 phases of follow-up. When you know what they are, you'll know what to do at each stage, and you'll keep the process going. And then I like saying inviting people to work with you and not closing the sale, because I don't like that terminology, but most people understand what that is. So there's 5 webinar calls plus 2 live Q&A coaching calls. And it's over an 8-week period. It's live on the phone with me. And during these coaching calls, we go on Zoom. You ask any question you have. And after each webinar call, there's Q&A as well. So tons and tons of coaching time. So the value of this program is $19.97. But I have some bonuses I want to offer for you today too. I love JoJo, and I want to give you guys everything I've got here. So I'm going to offer 2 extra coaching calls. So after the program's over, we're going to take a little break. You're going to go out in the world and implement what I've been teaching. And then we'll have 2 more group calls. You'll come back and ask more questions and share any challenges that have come up or anything you need support with. The second bonus is I have a live event coming up in the San Francisco Bay Area in November. But if you can't come to that, you can come to my May event next year. or next November. I do them twice. Mindset around money, and a lot of role playing and practicing of what I'm teaching. It's really powerful. And then because the mindset is such a big piece, and because the mindset can stop you from following up, I have a dear friend, Tina Greenbaum, and she's like an inner limiting beliefs expert. And she's bonused in a 6-module program that you can do on your own at your own pace to help with overcoming the negative thinking and the limiting beliefs. So very powerful program, because I really believe both are essential to being successful, is the inner game and then having all the practical outer stuff. And then you'll be part of my Facebook community, where you can ask for support, give support, run things by each other, share resources, and you'll be part of a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, like who are on the same journey as you. So the total value of this program with all these bonuses is over $6,200. But I want to do something super special for all of you. So for $997, you can join this program, or 6 payments of $197. But I have a couple more bonuses for you, so I want to go to that first, and I'll come back to this. So remember I was talking about how you want to train your clients what to say on your behalf? Well, I'm bonusing in my favorite and my client's favorite referral language template that will actually shares exactly how to share about what you do, to give it to your clients so they know what to say on your behalf. It is super powerful. And this bonus and the next bonus I'm going to offer are good for till Friday. I'm going to give you guys 72 hours because I know some people aren't on the call tonight and will listen to the recording. So I want to give you time to do this. The second thing I'm going to do is, instead of $997, I'm going to offer it at $897. So you save $100. And I decided to spread the payments out over 11 months. So it's just $97 a month for 11 payments. And you can get this entire program with all of these bonuses. So I just want to do something really special. I know some of you might be just starting out. Some of you might be more advanced and making more money in the business. But I want to make this available to everyone, because my passion is to help change the way people view network marketing. That you'll never feel salesy or pushy again, and that people will embrace the business model. Because I'm sure you guys hear all the time, is this network marketing and all that stuff about network marketing? It's because people have been salesy and pushy. And I want to eradicate that from people's beliefs. So I want to change the way people view network marketing, one person at a time. So if you sign up by Friday at midnight, you'll get the referral bonus template and the $100 off, okay? And to register for the program, here's a special link I created just for you guys, powerupyourfollowup.com/isogenics, powerupyourfollowup.com/isogenics. And one of the things I wanted to share with you vulnerably, and then I'll open it up for questions if we have a few minutes and you want to stay on. One of the things I've realized is that, you know, in this world where there's so much anger and hate and just so much crap going on, you know, my mission of helping people connect more deeply and to build deeper relationships and have more love in their life is going to change the world one person at a time. And that's really my big why, my big mission. Because underneath all of it for me, it's all about connection and building relationships. That's what I'm all about. And if we as entrepreneurs can create more connection and deeper relationships and more love with people who we work with on a daily basis, it's going to make a big impact on the world, you know, one person at a time. So I appreciate you guys participating and being here, and I'd love to open it up for questions. I'd love you to be on this journey. I'd love to be on this journey with you, and I work with lots of network marketers. Because of my background in network marketing, you can also ask questions about building a team and leading with the business and all the network marketing type questions. So during the Q&A, it's not just about follow-up. It's about building a network marketing business in general. So, so I'm going to stop here and open up for questions. So please open up your line if you have a question about anything I talked about or about the program, just anything, and I'll stay on as long as you guys want to stay on. I see it's 6:27, so 3 minutes. Yay!
Do you want to unshare your screen so we can see everybody?
Yes, I will do that.
And I will post up that link. So
fabulous.
Thank you for all of that help. And definitely it makes a big difference because I know we have a ton of people that are networking and meeting people all the time. And really just the big tip of going back to our of people that are already our product advocates and asking them for
yes
I think
yes
that's something that we probably all overlook. It's great. Does anybody have any questions?
And I would love, before you ask the questions, just to share your biggest takeaway or what you're going to implement that you learned tonight. I always love to know what people's biggest takeaways are, and then ask your question. Okay, and if you don't have a question and you just have the biggest takeaway, I'd love to hear that as well. So it's a safe place. Remember, we talked about whatever happens here stays here. So biggest takeaway or any question that you have.
So, I'm sorry, was somebody else?
No, go ahead, Anna.
Go ahead.
So, well, I don't know if it was my biggest takeaway, but it was sort of like the universe saying hello, because is the whole organization thing and using a CRM system. And so that sort of leads into my question. With your program, is the CRM program included in it? Because there is currently, so I currently use one. It's called Team Z. I don't know if you've heard of that one. But
I have heard of it. I have heard of it.
So I've been using that one, and it works fine. Just, it works just fine. You have to work it in order for it to work.
Yes.
So, to be honest and transparent.
Amazing how that happens. Go figure.
So that's my question, is the CRM system included with your program? And then 2, do you specifically only work with individuals who are going to networking events? Because I found that, so I'm fairly new to this area, so there's not a lot of networking events in this area. In fact, I'm going to look to create them here.
Okay, great.
So is that normally who you work with, is somebody who goes to networking events? And if you don't go to networking events, can the system still be beneficial? Sorry, that was a lot of questions.
No, fabulous questions. Thank you so much, Anna. So the first question is, the CRM is something that you choose separate for anywhere from $10 a month up. So I recommend some, but I don't provide them. I haven't created a CRM, but I've vetted some that are out there that were on that resources page that I shared with you a few minutes ago. But they're super inexpensive. I think the one that is really good for network marketers that my clients have really liked is maybe $19 a month or something like that. It's not a lot. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I work with people who are networking and who are not networking. Because if you're not networking in person, you can network online, right? So networking is networking and follow-up is follow-up. And what I'm finding, and I don't know if you're seeing this, but when someone connects with me on Facebook or LinkedIn, the first thing they do is sell me their stuff. It's like, what are they thinking? Like, would you ever go to a networking event and say, hi, I'm Debbie, I'm a follow-up coach, and you should sign up for my program? Like, that's what people are doing online. So what I teach on translates to however you're following up. Having said that, if you are new to an area, where do you live?
I live in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, Richmond, Virginia. So I know there are networking events there and the surrounding areas. And if you really start searching, you'll find some. And if there's a shortage, really, if you're very remote and there's a shortage of them, I love the idea of you creating one. But there are meetups. There are other things that you can go to connect with people if you're new to an area. But networking is such a key way to build a business. I built a few 6-figure businesses from networking. That's how powerful they are. So if people aren't networking, I always encourage them to start networking, like with my client Gwen that I shared, who was not networking. A lot of people, when they start working with me, are not networking, and then they become networking masters because they're going with a mindset that builds relationship and connection and takes the stress off. So I would just recommend do a Google search for networking events. There's BNI groups everywhere. eWomen Network might be near you. That's a fabulous place. That's where JoJo and I met. So check it out, do searches, go out to Chamber of Commerce's and meet people and ask them where they network. So there's always a Chamber of Commerce in a city, and that's a great place to meet people. So it's just such an easier way to build a business than online. I mean, online is great. It's an adjunct to everything else. So you don't want to just do one thing. So it's great to go online. It's great to have a Facebook group and LinkedIn and all that business page on Facebook, and then to network as well.
Awesome.
So
thank you.
was that helpful?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, good. You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Amanda, did you have something?
Anybody else? Love it to hear your takeaways, insights, breakthroughs.
Am I unmuted?
Yes. Hi,
Okay.
Amanda. I can see you. Okay, Amanda, hi.
Hi. So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when you ask people for referrals, how do you connect with the person that they referred you to?
Oh my God.
How do you lead with that?
How do you what?
How do you lead with that? Like where we're in the health and wellness industry, like how do you come out and connect with that referral that they've given you?
Okay, so is this, oh wait, so I think I heard two different questions. Was the first question how you're talking to somebody, and is this person a customer or is it just somebody you met? Like give me the scenario so I can answer more precisely for you.
Okay, so like a customer, for instance, if they've given you a couple referrals, what do you do with the referrals?
Okay, so are they giving you their name and number?
Yes.
All right, fabulous, because that's step one. The mistake people make, and again, I didn't have time, but I'm glad, you know, if you're staying on, I can share this. The mistake people make is they don't tell their clients to, when they're referring, to ask for permission for you to call them. And a lot of times people have said to me, oh, I've given your name out to so many people. It's like, no one's ever called, right? So you want to train them. If there's someone you're going to refer to me, please ask them for permission for me to call them or make an email introduction. That's like the best because it's a warm introduction. So that's the first thing. So your question is, you've been given the referral. And so what do you do next? Is that the question? How do you connect with them?
Yeah. So I guess that kind of answers my question, because you would have the person that's giving you the referral tell them that that I would be calling.
Asking for permission.
Okay.
Yeah, asking for permission. So if they're talking to somebody, let's say you have a customer and she's had great results with losing weight, just for an example. And she talks to somebody about losing weight, and this person says, I want to lose weight. She would say, great. Would you like me to have Amanda call you?
Okay.
So she's asking for permission. Or she could say, if she has time, how about if I make an email introduction and then Amanda will take it from there? Because you want them to be able to step out of the middle. Because a lot of times what people do is they just send out an email to that person or call that person saying, you know, you need to call me, I want to talk to you about something, and they never hear back, and then you never get the referral. So it's two parts to it. Train them on how to give you the referral, to ask for permission for you to be able to call them, and then to train them what to say. Because even though they've had results, sometimes they don't know what to say. And they might just share one. I know you have lots of products that deal with all these different issues. And if they just focus on one, you know, they might lose out on potential referrals. So that's where the training comes in. And the bonus that I'm offering all you guys is the referral language that you would give to people and what they would say when they're just talking to somebody on your behalf, and then an email that they would write when doing an email introduction. So like that, you're spoon feeding them with exactly what you want them to say. So it's pretty powerful. My clients love, love, love it. Did that answer your question? or questions? Oh, you're muted. Amanda, was that good? Did you get everything you needed?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, good. If there's is there anything else? Because I don't want there to be a think so. Is there anything
No,
else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, good.
Right.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for raising your hand. Oh, biggest takeaway from today. Biggest takeaway. Or something you're going to implement that you haven't been.
Follow-ups and being more organized.
Being more organized. And what was the first one? I heard follow-ups, but what was did you say something before that?
No.
Okay, just
follow-ups.
Just following up, just doing more of it. Awesome, awesome. Yay! Cool. Great, thank you. Okay, I know we're over, but if you guys want to stay on, I'm happy to stay on and answer any questions that you have. I appreciate you all being here. If you have any questions about the program and you want to talk to me personally, just email me at debbie@powerupyourfollowup.com, debbie@powerupyourfollowup.com, and you can put your phone number in the email and I'll call you. Any questions you have if you want to talk one-on-one. My feeling and my belief and what I've seen is when network marketing teams come together and get the follow-up training and they're all on the same page doing the same thing, your organizational volume is going to go through the roof. You can't help not, because most people in network marketing are so passionate about the company, you're passionate about your products, and you love being part of the team. You love your team leader like JoJo, but sometimes we don't have the training and the skills and the follow-up and the sales skills. And I've been through decades of making mistakes to figure this whole thing out. And so I'm just sharing all of my experience and knowledge with you to make it easier for you to do it. So who else? Questions? Takeaways? Ahas? Don't be shy. Oh, I think JoJo, I don't know if you're I see you're muted, but I think you're trying to talk. Anybody else? Vinny, Gary, Andy, anybody? Kevin, would love to hear from you. Just what big takeaways or anything you're going to be doing new that you haven't been doing up until now. Tap off. Oh, you're so welcome, Anna. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. So anybody else? So normally I did this special $97 a month for 11 payments specifically for JoJo and your team because I want to make it simple and easier. So again, if there's anything getting in the way of it, if it's a